All right, so everybody should be able to see our screen. Welcome. We're getting started just a little bit late today. Working from home, as most of you are, but this is Tuesday. Today's presentation is chock full of a lot of information. We're going to cover so much in a very short period of time. But the big messages during these coronavirus time shutdowns, social distancing, we want you to make sure that that you realize that there is still business funding available. I mean, are the markets tightening up? Yes, but is there still liquidity? Yes, and those who position themselves right and get money now are going to have a great opportunity to do so. And we're going to talk about several of those programs today. So let's jump right in. First of all, my name is Joseph Smith. I'm one of the wise guys in ties. My business partner, Ray Fleming, and I, what we've done is we've started a business that is dedicated towards helping other businesses start and grow their business through business credit, direct funding. And our goal is to really help businesses achieve whatever the God-given purpose is. And we want you to succeed, especially during these trying times. And so we've dedicated a lot of time to researching and getting the most up-to-date information for you. So let's jump right on it. We gotta face the facts that the world has changed, and right now you just have to see that business owners are concerned more than ever. And this is one of the reasons why the market is, people are seeing banks and different lending institutions restrict lending. It's not so much that the liquidity isn't there, it's just that they're overwhelmed with so many people reaching out and trying to get lending. So we are partnered with Credit Suite, and who is a major major brokerage that goes and helps apply for direct funding. So we're able to offer you different ways to help get funding that is going to help you build and grow your business during these uncertain times. So you need to understand that there is money out there, but I mean, you could go to different brokers or different banks, and not only do you have to meet the lending guidelines for whatever program you're trying to apply for, but you have to also meet those individual lender guidelines. And when you go through us, we're able to help you cut through a lot of the red tape and get directly to the lenders and secondary lending programs that are there to help you get access to money very quickly. So we all know that everything seems to be up in the air, and we don't know what's going to happen. And I heard today that Trump is hoping that the economy, everything opens up by Easter, and that would be great. But we just don't know what's going to happen. We already know that there have been restaurants that have closed, gyms have closed, movie theaters have closed. So there's a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of people that are really suffering, employees, business owners. And so we need to always stay informed. Make sure that you go to Johns Hopkins. That's a great website to help you really understand the facts that are out there. Or coronavirus.gov, great website. Stay informed. Make sure that you know what's going on, because it's when you don't know what's going on that you begin to hear a little rumor here or there and you get nervous, right? So we want to definitely, if we can help get you more information, especially on building business credit and getting access to different types of direct funding for your business, that's going to really help you and your customers feel at ease during these challenging times. So this is a great time. Interest rates are still low, lowest that they've been. And so we still have banks lending. So a lot has already been done with the first two coronavirus packages that have been passed by the government. They're buying up a lot of what's called notes on the back end. A lot of technicalities of that, but what that means is by the banks buying up this paper, it's freeing up the liquidity still in the credit markets so that banks and lenders can still lend. So we're still seeing a lot of these programs that are still available. All right, but the important thing that you must do and you must know is you gotta act now. There's a limited window of opportunity before everything starts clamping down tight, and it's going to get tighter and tighter. And as your financial situation as a business owner, even in your personal situation, you want to take advantage of the best financial profile that you can put forward, because the longer this drags on, the harder it is for you to be able to put up strong numbers. So most people, when things like this happen, is they don't want to spend their money. They want to wait it out, but that can actually backfire on you, because that's a scarcity mentality, and you'll never have enough, and you just will miss the opportunity. The number one thing to do right now is, if you have the ability to get money, to go get money. Personally, business, if you have the ability to expand your lines of credit or qualify for a loan, then you need to do so. Now, there's not an infinite supply, and you should act like what we say, like a seasonal business. A seasonal business plans for getting as much money as they can, especially during the off season, so that they can carry themselves, and then they're prepared during their seasonal business to make as much money as they can, and then use the money that they've made in the profits plus whatever credit that they have to carry them over till the next season. So that's kind of what every business is now kind of become, a seasonal business, because not a lot of businesses are open right now. So we've got to shift to that mindset. We got to play to our strengths. All right. I mean, this stuff is happening so fast. Here's one lender that we work with, who I don't know if you can see it quite clearly on your screen, but on the left side, this is where they were lending pretty much a week ago, and then where they're at today. Basically, the point of this is that lenders are getting so overwhelmed with so many applications that they can really pick and choose at this point, and so they're creating more hoops to jump through to really slow down. And I mean, they have to hire. Even the SBA is trying to increase their staff, because they're just so overwhelmed right now. So everybody's trying to respond and react, but there's so many people applying for loans all at this time, that lenders are changing guidelines and everything right on the fly, all in real time, just within the last week. So if we want you to think like a seasonal business, what do seasonal businesses do? Well, seasonal businesses experience the peaks and the valleys of funding, right? And this is all the time. They use their credit in order to get past those tougher times. So we talked about that. So a business would sell ski equipment might stay afloat for the summer with its credit, especially when you got employees, payroll tax, you've got overhead, you got all these different things that you have to pay for. You've got to make as much money as you can during your season to have the cash that you have. And so when you apply for funding, you obviously base it off of the cash flow and the revenue that's coming in during your season, but then you use that to build your credit that carries you in your off season. So it's time for us to do the same, and this is an excellent opportunity for us. So we're going to cover 14 different credit line options that you can get today. We're going to talk about credit lines with no credit check, how to get credit lines as a startup, how to get 0% interest credit lines, how to get approved for up to $250,000 in credit lines, and how to access all credit lines in just one place, right here with Wise Guys and Ties. Look, if you're needing help during this time, you need to talk to somebody, you need to pray with somebody, right? Just call 888-524-9273, and you can get through to either myself or Ray Fleming. You'll talk with our office manager. We can schedule a time where we can really help get you into direct funding and find programs that will fit, because it really comes down to what you can apply for, what you can get. I mean, there are many unique advantages to a business credit line, because with a loan, you have to pay money on the entire loan. With a credit line, you only are paying your payments based off of what you're using, right? And you can pay it down, and you can continue to reuse it. I mean, so it's very flexible. So credit lines are very powerful. They're tough to qualify for because they typically require that you have good credit. a longer time in business, strong financials. But there are credit cards and lines that people just don't know about, and there's programs out there that are even available to startups. Even if you have bad credit, even if you have no financials, there's no doc programs that don't require documentation where you can get money fast. So it comes down, all lending really breaks down into the 3 C's: cash flow, collateral, and credit. And so the more of these C's that you have, then the more financial opportunities that are available to you. So but I mean, maybe you don't have all of that. Maybe you only have one. Maybe you have revenue and cash coming in, but you don't have collateral or credit. Well, there's lending available for any one of these C's. But the more we can combine, the more you can. If you have collateral, if you have inventory, if you have a retirement account, like an IRA, if you have stocks, right? There's a lot of things that can be collateralized. Your home can be collateralized, and credit. You might say, I don't have good credit, and I don't even have any business credit, right? Well, those are the first 2 areas we look for credit. Well, I mean, you can leverage the credit of someone else, I mean, a lot of times, I mean, 75% of all businesses are funded by family members and friends. A lot of times they just don't have the money to lend to you. They would love to, but if they have a good credit profile, a good FICO score, and they have low utilization, I mean, we're talking about credit maybe as low as 650, and we're talking about utilization under 30%. If there's somebody in your life, or this is you have the credit necessary to get funding for your business today. All right. So let's talk about a credit line hybrid. We've talked about this in the past. It's been a while, but we got to come back to it because I'm very excited about this, because we're currently, as of today, right, we're not seeing any impact of the coronavirus and what's happening to the credit line hybrid program. Because remember, I talked about earlier how the government's buying all that paper on the backside. So it's still leaving the liquidity and the credit limits available out there. So credit line hybrid is what it's talking about, is the benefit of having a credit card and a line of credit together, right? So that's the hybrid. So having the benefit of a 0% interest rate on a credit card for up to 18 months, and having the ability of a credit line to be able to write checks against that line of credit or pull the money directly out, right? You can get up to $150,000 at 0% interest rates. And we talk about no docs. Meaning it's not requiring 3 years tax returns. We're not requiring bank statements. We're not looking at P&Ls, right? There's no docs for this, right? This is going to be based purely off of credit. So no tax returns, bank statements required. This is ideal for startups because startups can't usually produce the documents, right? If you're in a high-risk industry, say real estate investing, or you're over-the-road trucker, or you're even into credit repair as your business, right? You're in a high-risk industry. So having the ability to get access to these hybrid accounts is huge, right? And then again, because it's a line of credit, you're only paying for what you use, so you can really kind of control your payment. So let's talk about this. You can get up to 5 to 8 times the highest of your highest limit. So let's say you have a $10,000 credit card right now for your business, or on your personal side that you use for your business, or whatever. You could get $50,000 to $80,000 right there based off of that one highest limit card that you have. And so because of this, you also need to understand that these credit line hybrids, they only report to the business credit bureaus, which means this isn't going to impact your utilization or your credit score on your personal side. And so you can, with this credit line hybrid, apply for both cards on the business side and the personal side. You could get a personal card, which will report to the consumer credit reporting agencies. It's up to you. I mean, you can choose. You can do one or both. You just have to, make sure what makes the most sense for you. And when you work with us, we're going to refer you to our loan officers, which are going to really spell out all of your options. And so if this is what you're really looking for, we want you to go to Wise Guys and Ties creditwiz.com and fill out a request to meet with us. Just schedule an appointment with us, or give us a call at 888-524-9273. Now, with the credit line hybrid, financial so here's what happens. These cards, they're secured by your credit, but you see, the company is not the lender or the card issuer. Instead, they function as experts in obtaining the credit cards and work to get you the most that they can secure. Then they apply for them all at one time. So what we're talking about is a credit card stacking method. And so it means when you're working, so if you go out and you apply for a credit card, let's say because the liquidity is still there, you're able to get a $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 credit card. Good for you. But as soon as you do that, the next credit card you apply for, you might get denied, or they might only offer you half that, $10,000. And then by the third card or fourth card, you're getting denied straight off the bat. I mean, that's pretty much how it works. But when you utilize the finance sources that we use and the system, the computer system that we use, the credit card stacking method, we're able to apply to 5 to 8 to multiple lenders all at one time. And from the way we apply based off of the strength of your credit profile is what allows us to apply for all of these cards simultaneously, all at the same time, and have you appear as that this is the first card that you're applying for to each of the credit issuers. They will issue you their maximum amount. And so when you get 4, 5, 6 cards like this is what allows you to get up to $150,000. Plus, keep in mind that once you have these cards and you start using them, there's a lot of competition between these cards. So they're always going to try to fight to be the card that you use the most. You should use all of them, right? Because credit can only help you if you keep using it, but don't bite off more than you can chew. Make sure that you can make the monthly payments on it. As long as you keep making the minimum monthly payments at least, then you're going to continue to grow your business credit. And but if Visa sees that you're using the MasterCard more than the Visa, then they want to increase your line to make sure that you're using them more. So there's a little bit of competition that comes into play there. So what are we looking for to qualify? Well, a 650 or better FICO score. I mean, if you have a 680 or a 700, 720, the better your score goes up, basically the more money that you can qualify for. But we could, at a 650 or better FICO score, you might be able to get 25 to 50,000. If you had higher credit score, you might be able to qualify for even more. A guarantor is welcome. That's another thing I love about this program is, let's say you don't have the credit, but mom, dad, uncle, brother, cousin does. You could sell them a portion of your company or a portion of your profits. You could work out a deal with them where they put down the personal guarantee, and then obviously you're able to keep the business going, and then you create a note and that pays them back. So basically we need to see no derogatories for the last 2 years. I mean, we don't even want to see one missed payment, no foreclosures, no bankruptcies, obviously. At least you need to have at least one bank card with 2 years history or a $2,000 limit. They want to make sure that this is a real credit profile. Some people have a credit profile, but they don't have any bank loans, auto loans, car loans, nothing. So as long as this is a real actual credit score and a real credit profile, and then you're going to be able to take care of this. We need to see at least under 40% utilization. I mean, again, these are the minimum guidelines. If you're right at 40% utilization and you're at a 650 credit score, you're really going to get closer to like 25,000, right? But if you can get under the 30,000, if you get up to 680 or better, then you start moving into 80, 100,000, right? And obviously the best credit score that you could have in the high 700, mid to high 700s, and your credit utilization maybe under 25%. you're looking at getting up to 150,000 in this hybrid accounts. We want to see less than 6 inquiries in the past 12 months. I mean, it would be ideal if there was even under 4 inquiries. But I mean, again, we want to give you what the minimums are to qualify. So, I mean, because every business, even, I mean, if you probably are like, oh man, I really need 150. But if you have some issues, that's what I like about this program, that maybe you did have a derogatory, or your credit score is a little bit lower, your utilization is a little high. That's okay. You can still qualify for something, and you can work with that and grow it from there. That's what's important. All right, let's switch over to SBA loans. I mean, the government has just released $50 billion, right? Basically doubling what the SBA is able to back. And you see, you don't get money from the SBA. The SBA, what they do is they make sure that you follow all of meet all the guidelines, all of the requirements for the loan, and then they back the loan, maybe up to 70 or 80%. But it's the actual bank that makes the loan. So you've got to meet the bank's criteria and the SBA's criteria to qualify for the loan. But what's great is that now, during these times of coronavirus, they're waiving the upfront fees. There's disaster relief. And so there's, I think the number one thing to keep in mind here is that if you want to borrow $150,000 or less, you can get into the Sba Express Loan, which we're seeing can close within 30 to 60 days. And realistically, some of the last couple of loans that our loan officers have put through have taken 30 to 45 days. So, but that's because when you're at $350,000 or less, the collateral requirements are really lessened. But once you go above $350,000 that you're asking for, the collateral requirements are quite high. So let's talk about what is that the government did. What are the benefits? Well, they're now permitted to exercise this available authority. They will provide loans to businesses affected by the coronavirus to help overcome disruptions. So airlines, the hotel industry, right? Restaurants, anything where all of a sudden all of your business has really just gone away, and it's because of the coronavirus and the shutdown. So the president's calling on Congress to continue to increase this funding, but the intent is to make 30 million small businesses more resilient to coronavirus-related economic disruptions. I mean, it's estimated that is the number of active current small businesses in the United States right now, 30 million. And so those with employees, or who have to make payroll, or all the different issues that are related with your business, your overhead, right? That's what this type of is for. Because to qualify for an SBA loan, normally you have to be using it, to grow your business. You're purchasing a new property, you're marketing, you're expanding, you're adding new employees. It has to. Now they're changing the requirements that it could be just to pay your bills. So there's a lot of things that now where you couldn't qualify, now you can. So you could get up to $2 million for businesses. These loans can be for paying back, like we said, debt. Maybe you've got payroll, accounts receivable, you got to pay other bills. Well, before this disaster relief came in, if you said to the SBA, I want to get an SBA loan because I can't pay my bills, they would have said, what? Well, it sounds like you're going out of business. We're not going to lend to you. But now you can, because that's the purpose of this. It's economic, injury, disaster relief loans. So for the SBA, there's also cap lines, right? This is an umbrella program under which the SBA helps business owners meet short-term and cyclical working capital needs. I mean, you can get loans for $5 million. The qualification requirements are the same as any other SBA program. There's also seasonal lines, advances against the anticipated inventory, accounts receivable, meant to help seasonal businesses. I mean, there's all kinds of programs. There's 504, there's the 7M, right? They do microloans in $10,000 increments up to $30,000, right? So usually, what type of SBA loan are you applying for? If you don't know, you're going to fall into a generic pot. If you're going to go to a bank, you got to meet the bank's personal requirements, then the SBA's requirements, and then you can get the money. So it can be kind of difficult. When you work with a broker like what we do, we refer and we look at what type of business you are. What is your strength? Is it cash flow, credit, collateral? And what type of industry are you in? And we're going to line you up with the right SBA program, if that's where you're going, so that you can get the type of funding that's available to you. There's a contract line, builder's line, working capital line. So you may currently qualify for the SBA disaster relief loan. Rates are as low as 2.75 to 3.75 for profit companies, 2.75 for nonprofit, right? The terms can be 10 years up to 30 years. Now here's something that's really important. They've reduced the financial review that's used. Usually they look back 3 years with your P&L statements, your bank records, your tax returns. Now they only need 1 year of financials, so that's a lot easier. For reduced revenue sales and increased expenses and costs. So before, if your revenues were going down and your expenses are going up, and they look at that, they wouldn't approve you. But now, because they understand what's happening, that everybody has reduced revenues and expenses going up, that's not going to disqualify you. But you still need to meet their normal requirements, though. I mean, the requirements for an SBA loan haven't changed. It's how you apply for it, what's available, what you can do for it. There's been a lot of easing of restrictions to what they can guarantee and what they can't. But you have to have all your financials in place. A good credit score, you have to have collateral, you have to have credit, but you also have to have business credit, because the SBA is going to approve you based off of your Fargo SB score, right? SBA score. And I mean, that is a look at what your business credit score is and your personal credit score, and it's weighted, right? The business credit's weighted higher than personal, but you have to achieve, I believe, a 140 as a minimum scoring on that. If you don't even have business credit, you can't even come anywhere near that, even with your personal credit. So then they're going to require even higher collateral to offset that. But if you have established business credit, right, and then you also have your personal credit, you can, and the business credit's weighted heavier, then you can get approved for these SBA loans. Now, if you're like, well, I don't have business credit, or I'm not sure if I have business credit, well, you need to call us. You need to call 888-524-9273, or go to our website, wiseguysandties.com, and schedule an appointment to meet with us and let us consult with you, see where you're at, and see what we can do to help you in this in these times. Because building business credit is what we do, and it's something that can be done fairly easy. I mean, you could start getting accounts with after you get your vendor accounts and your starter accounts, you could be getting Amazon accounts and Home Depot, right? You could be getting accounts at Costco, all these I mean, places that you would use. You could start getting high limit Visa credit cards in as little as 6 months. So this is something that can be done very quickly, and everybody needs to get business credit if you're to enhance your ability to get access to more funds, loans, lines of credit, liquidity. I can't emphasize enough that you've got to act fast. The window of opportunity is really tightening in on your ability to access cash. The longer we stay in this situation with everything shut down, the tighter and tighter everything's going to get. So the quicker that you contact us, the quicker that you get started, the sooner we can find you the money while it's still available, and you can access it with the strongest possible financials that you could put forward today. If you wait, if you're like, no, I'm going to hold on to my money and my little bit that I have, and then you try to apply later, it's going to all be dried up, and you won't have strong enough financials to qualify for anything. Businesses that apply now and that are able to have the liquidity to carry on will actually be able to have the opportunity to build and grow that credit, even while others businesses that waited and sat on their thumbs, right, can't get anything. Those other businesses that acted now will be growing their business credit and growing their ability to access loans and high limit credit cards, while other businesses begin to fail. You'll be in position to thrive and succeed. All right. So let's talk about some of these lines of credit that are available. We talk about an AI credit line. This is something that's pretty exciting because it's really just based off of your revenue. But instead of having to have complicated documentation protocols, you simply give your bank login information to the loan to the lender, right? And it scans your bank records, and it scans all the income coming in, any derogatories, NSF fees, right? What your average daily balance is. I mean, they look at everything, and usually within less than 24 hours, they're able to give approvals based off of the strength of your bank account. So, I mean, you could see up to $150,000 in a credit line. So the only, obviously requirement is you have to be in business for more than 6 months, and this approval is based solely off of your revenue. So, I mean, we're talking about a very limited window of opportunity, because if your business has been thriving right up until the shutdown, then you still got some pretty good financials that have been in place over the last 6 months. Then let's use that. Let's get you a line of credit. And one of these AI lines of credit, why I like them so much, is because you get approval that quick, and the money's in your bank like within a couple of days. And that's powerful. And it's a line of credit, which means you only pay for what you use, which is awesome. Inventory financing. I mean, this has literally saved so many people. I mean, if you're shut down, but in your business, I mean, you have so much product, so much inventory. If you have equipment over worth over $10,000, I mean, there's some, big businesses that, what are they going to do? But I mean, this is what's powerful, is you can actually use your business, leverage your inventory. And I mean, this is maybe what can carry you through these hard times. So if you're sitting there and you're wondering what's going to happen, and you qualify and you meet but maybe you're like, I don't know if I qualify. Give us a call, 888-524-9273. It's on the bottom of your screen there. Or go to wiseguysanties.com. You need to make sure that you contact us so that we can find out if this option works for you, right? There's revenue credit lending lines, right? We've talked about these in the previous weeks, but you need to understand that there are advances. The lenders will approve you for, I mean, both a loan, maybe even an extra line of credit. See, what happens is when you get a revenue-based credit line or a loan, it's all based off of your revenue. So the lender does a UCC filing, and that says, hey, we've lent this amount of money, right? It's like having a first position lien on your business. But even though that might look bad to other lenders and no one's going to lend to you, in reality, you still have junior positions where somebody will issue you the revenue based loan, but then you could also get a line of credit. Maybe you got a revenue based loan. It's usually 10% of whatever your monthly revenue is. Let's say your monthly or let's say 10% of your annual revenue. You made $200,000. Well, you could get a $20,000 loan. And then maybe you can get a line of credit on top of that for another 20 or 10 or 15, right? It just depends. So these are a little harder to qualify for. Now, this isn't just revenue based. They do want to look at your personal credit to help offset their risk. So, and it always helps to be in business. The longer you've been in business, helps to offset the risk that the lender's taking. Accounts receivable. This is huge. I mean, people who utilize our services, some people they pay, right? They pay over time. Like they put a down payment down and they make payments over an 11-month period of time. Well, that's an account receivable. I mean, if I took up all of our accounts, I could use that and go to a lender and say, I have all these people that are paying me money. I could leverage that as collateral. If your business is similar, where you have people pay you over time for your products and services, those are your account receivables. You could leverage those. The more account receivables you have, the more money that's out there, then the more that you can collateralize that. So that's really powerful to get loans based off of that. It's basically somebody, I mean, make the numbers easy. Somebody owes you $100,000, let's pay it out over time. You're going to get money today off of that money that's owed. The lender's going to collect on that, but they're going to pay you maybe 70 cents on the dollar or something like that. So you're selling your future payments, future profit for money today. Private lines of credit. These are good because these are actually just individuals that will lend. I mean, sometimes when you're stuck and the banks won't, and there's no liquidity, the private lenders will lend to you. But I mean, they do want to see that you do, I mean, you do have credit score requirements. They do want to make sure that you have a certain amount of liquidity in the bank to make sure that you can cover it. I mean, you're going to see an 8% rate. Some of these options, you know, might be too expensive for somebody, but other people might be like, this is really, you know, all that I can get given my current situation. But you need to know that this is out there. Where do you find people that are willing to lend? Where is there a network? Well, you got to call us, right? We're going to refer you to our loan officers who are going to, you know, put you in touch with these people. That's why you want to call 888-524-9273 so that you can start working with us immediately, as well as go to wiseguysandties.com. And on our page, you can learn a lot about business credit. You can also schedule an appointment to meet with us from our website. Peer-to-peer lending. This is a great way to get funding. This is where instead of just having one private lender lend to you, you get a group of private lenders that are lending in different ways. 620 FICO scores all required. But look, here are the different you know, businesses that are out there doing it. Prosper, Lending Club, Upstart, Street Shares, right? There's so many different options that are out there, but typically, as long as you have cash flow and you have some personal credit, this is something that you can make work for your business. There's unsecured alternative lines of credit. These again, we're talking about secondary lenders that will offer a line of credit, right? But we're looking, you know, anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000. They want to look at your tax returns. They want to see your P&Ls. Their interest rates from 7 to 10%. So you just have to meet the minimum requirements. They want to see that your personal score is over 700, and they check Experian. You know, it's good to know. I mean, hey, I have a 700 with TransUnion or Equifax. No, it's got to be with Experian. So high limit credit lines. So what's the difference between high limit credit lines and the hybrids we were talking about? Well, high limit credit lines here, these are the ones that require documentation. So we talk about, sometimes you hear, well, you got to fill out your documentation or no doc, you know. Well, when you fill out your when you have documentation that you fill out, here's the difference, is it usually takes time, like a month, up to 2 months to fill out the docs and to jump through all the hoops, and they have more requests and it kind of goes back and forth. But the benefit is that you can get a lower interest rate and a lower payment. Now, typically with a no doc fee, is it's very fast, there's a higher interest rate. I found when you compare no doc credit card stacking that we talked about, where we can get up to $150,000 in lines of credit and credit cards for your business, and you compare that to you going out and applying for a business line of credit and filling out all the documentations, you might get a business line of credit for $15,000, $20,000, whereas we might find our clients $100,000 to $150,000. And so, I mean, which was better? So those hybrid accounts, they start at 0% for the first 18 months, but then they might go as high as 25%. But then, you know, you might have a line of credit for 20,000 and it's at a smaller interest rate of maybe like 7, 8, 9%, or you got it even you qualified for an even better loan at 3, 4, 5%. But I mean, what's the trade-off? What was better, having more liquidity or having the lower interest rate? And to me, I would always want the more liquidity at the higher interest rate. But I mean, that just makes sense to me. I mean, you have to run your own numbers to see if that's a good fit for you and your business. All right. So securities, we talked about stocks and bonds. Also keep in mind this, you might have an IRA, right? So here's what happens when we're talking about stocks and bonds. I mean, we know the market's all kind of crazy, but if you have just a ton of stock out there, or let's say, okay, hold on, I'll come back to that. But there's stocks out there. Here's what you do. You use that as collateral. You still get to keep your stocks. You still get to benefit from, because the stock market, everything is going to come back. I mean, we don't know when. I mean, they talk about a V curve. I mean, it could be a long V curve. Who knows? But it could bounce back really quick. Point is if you put up your stocks as securities, you could get up to 90% of current value as a loan to you. And as long as you use that line of credit and you pay it back, no problem, right? You keep your stock, you still benefit from the increase in your stock. The only thing that would put those stocks at risk is if you failed to pay on the money that you borrowed. And if that's what happens, then of course, then the lender gets to have the stocks. That's really the only thing here. But it's a great way. I mean, if you just have a lot of stock, even if the value has come down, being able to get 90% of that issued to you in a loan or a line of credit. A line of credit is actually what we're talking about. That's powerful if that's what you need to try and get over this hump right now. Pay some employees, pay some bills, whatever that's going on, because you still get to keep the stock as long as you make payments. All right. And let's say that it's not your stock. You can actually collateralize someone else's stock. So let's say grandpa or dad wants to really help you, but for them to give you money, they'd have to cash out of their stock, and it's this whole rigmarole. It takes time. Instead of making them do that, have them put the stock up as collateral, and then you could borrow 90% of the value. They still get to keep their stock as long as you make the payments and you don't default. Then once it's all paid back and everything's fine, then I mean, everything went well. I mean, it didn't really cost your relative or your friend anything. So it's a great way for people to use collateral to fund their business. So real estate line of credit. Hey, I'm a real estate investor. There's a lot of people out there that are fix and flipping houses, or you've got rental properties. You can use the equity in your home or your properties to get like a home equity, similar to a home equity line of credit. You can get this line of credit for, to help you continue to fix and flip houses. There's 18 to 24 month terms available if you need it in loans. There's 6-month terms available for fix and flips, right? It just depends, what kind of real estate investor are you? Are you a fix and flip model, or are you in the rental model where you're going to buy and hold your properties? So there's a lot of different options out there that are still open right now, today. So you got to take advantage of it, because the real estate market lags behind the stock market. So while you still have the value in your real estate today, it might be time to look at possibly cashing in on some of that equity in your portfolio so that you can have the liquidity you need in case things don't go the way that you'd like them to, and you need to improve your property, purchase a new property, finish a fix and flip, thing like that. Great way. Startup line of credit. We talked about, Wells Fargo offers a credit line for startups. It's called their Small Business Advantage. They don't require tax returns. You just have to have a 680 FICO score, and you can get $5,000 to $50,000 in these credit lines. They do require that you have a Wells Fargo bank account, right? But that's something to look into, especially if you're a startup business, right? What about business credit? You've heard me talk about that a lot. You can't even call a lot of these different programs we've showed you. It's very difficult to qualify for any of them if you don't have any business credit. I mean, you've got to have near perfect personal credit to qualify for a lot of the loans, like especially the SBA. I mean, you need to have business credit. And a lot of people just don't understand what that is. I mean, you have your own personal credit score, but your business can have its own credit score, a business credit score that it has based off of its EIN, whereas you have your personal credit score based off of your social security number. Well, when you build your business credit and you can get access to high limit credit cards for your business in your business's name that reports to the business credit bureaus, this is very powerful. It's not an easy thing to do because most people don't know how to build business credit, and they do it the wrong way. They end up actually building their personal credit thinking that they're building business credit. So you actually have to do this. We actually have our program, our business credit builder program, where we help you build your business credit apart from your personal credit. So it doesn't require personal guarantees, no credit checks, nothing like that. And let me tell you, this, if you know what you're doing and you're working with the professionals using our program, it's fast. I mean, we have people get results within 30 days. We have people build their business credit, getting trade lines, vendor accounts, but they start getting like Amazon, Walmart accounts, Home Depot Pro accounts, all these things within like 60 to 90 days. I mean, you can build your business credit in as little as 6 months utilizing our system. I mean, we take you step by step, we break it down, we give you the underwriting guidelines for all of the different credit issuers so that you know what you need to do before you even apply. And these underwriting guidelines, they're constantly changing. With everything that's going on, we monitor this and we keep you up to date so that you know you have the confidence every day knowing that you have the most current information that's available to you so you can build your business credit. So here's some good options that require no collateral, no cash flow, or good credit, right? We talked about what about building business credit? You can do that with none of that. That's what we just talked about. If you haven't built business credit or you're trying to do it on your own, it could take years, right? I want to encourage you to call 888-524-9273. Schedule time to meet with us. Let us show you how quickly we can build your business credit for you. Or go to wiseguysandties.com and learn more about business credit. When you go to our website, you can download a free book that gives you the 4 steps of building business credit. We teach you how to do that. Our services are designed as a companion to guide you through it, to help you do this in a very short period of time. 4, 6 months. You could potentially get it done that quickly utilizing our program. But if you don't qualify for anything, maybe you should start looking at grants. There are a lot of grants that are available at your local level, state level, federal level. Start looking for grants that maybe apply to you. Crowdfunding. If you have a novel idea, a new invention, a great concept that hasn't been tried before, crowdfunding is a great way to get a lot of money very quick. Angel investing, venture capital, these are different ways to get access to people that'll lend you money during the startup of your business, and they might only want 10, 20, maybe even as much as 50% ownership in your company, but for a very short period of time, anywhere from 3 to 5 years. So this is good because you're utilizing not only their money, but their business experience and their resources to help you build and grow your business. So those are excellent options as well. So let's talk about, we're just running out of time here, and I just want you to know that there's a lot that's going on here. There's Wise Guys and Ties has partnered with Credit Suite, and what we're trying to do is make sure that through our loan officers and our direct funding programs that we're getting you all of the information. When we literally work with over 1,000 different lenders, we have 27 different lending programs that can help you in your business. And there are so many funding options that are available right now. But keep in mind that now is the time to strike, because if this coronavirus thing continues to prolong itself, your financials are going to continue to get weaker and weaker over time if your business isn't open for business and you're not bringing in the revenue that you once did. So we've got to take advantage of every opportunity. If it's cash flow, collateral, credit, let's do that. I mean, there is liquidity. There are programs like that hybrid program I was talking to you about. It's available right now, but you've got to act fast, okay? And we can help. Our partners, we have partnered with Credit Suite, and so you're working with the best. They've been doing this for the last 12 years. Wise Guys and Ties, we can help you build your business credit so that help you qualify for even more of these loans and these programs that are out there. Call 888-524-9273 or go to wiseguysandties.com. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I know I went over a little bit of our time, but there was so much to cover, and I wanted all of you to have access to all of this information. And I want you to, if you don't remember anything other than this, now the number one thing that you need to do right now is get as much money as you can, because there's still money available. And if this goes on too much longer, the lending restrictions are going to tighten. And then when the money isn't there, then it won't be there. So even if you're like, well, I think I'm going to be okay, you can qualify. This is the time that if you can get money, then get money, because it's only going to be available. If we're thinking that this is going to last for a while, the money that's available right now is there's a limited window of opportunity. We need to take advantage of this over the next few weeks before it's all gone. So call 888-524-9273. Email us at bizcredit@wiseguysandties.com, or better yet, go to our website, learn more about how you can get business credit and how you can get access, see the testimonials. We work with a lot of people and they've experienced a ton of success. Learn more about what we have to offer. Learn more about us, look at our FAQ, read articles that we have on business credit, and different lending opportunities and direct funding programs that are out there. Go to wiseguysandties.com. I want to thank each and every one of you for being with me here today. Everybody, just stay calm. Everything's going to be okay. And I just want to say good night. God bless.